saith the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. In Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler.
A soft place to fall. Yeah, a soft place to fall.
Welcome to a soft place to fall, a place of restoration and rejuvenation. I'm not a preacher, I'm not a pastor, I'm not a coach, I'm not a therapist. I'm your host, Kerwin Fielding. I'm sure you'll find some rejuvenation with our guests today here at A Soft Place to Fall. But for now, here's how I'm feeling. Don't fret or worry. Instead of worrying, pray. Let petitions and praises shape your worries into prayers, letting God know your concerns. Before you know it, a sense of God's wholeness, everything coming together for good, will come and settle you down. It's wonderful what happens when Christ displaces worry at the center of your life. Summing it all up, friends, I'd say you'll do best by filling your minds and meditating on things true, noble, reputable, authentic, compelling, gracious, the best, not the worst, the beautiful, not the ugly, things to praise, not things to curse. Put into practice what you've learned from me, what you've heard and saw and realized. Do that, and God, who makes everything work together, will work you into His most excellent harmonies.
A soft place to fall.
Welcome to another edition of A Soft Place to Fall. I even find comfort in saying the name of it. It's an incredible opportunity for you to find some restoration, some resilience, some rejuvenation. Once again, I'd like to remind you as you join us, I'm not a preacher, I'm not a teacher, I'm not a pastor, I'm not a life coach, I'm not a therapist, I'm your host. And I'm here to take this journey with you and finding your soft place to fall. And I'm trying to contain my excitement because as I look to the other end of the couch, I'm so excited about our guest today. I've seen her operate in such a spirit of excellence, and I just call her divine royalty. And with that, I welcome my friend, Lorraine Bradley, to A Soft Place to Fall. Right here, let's have some conversation.
This is an honor. I am so elated because this man sitting over here that invited me to a soft place to fall, I couldn't find myself falling nowhere else this morning. And I thank you so much because of your spirit and the way I've been watching you move. I appreciate you thinking of little old me to sit on this couch with you and a soft place to fall.
Well, you've already answered what normally is my first question to my guests is always, how did you get here? And you answered the question already, and I thank you for accepting the invitation, because I too have been watching you for quite some time, and I've seen you operate in such a spirit of excellence within the church realm and then out into the community. But I know you operate very well in the kitchen. So that perhaps, I'm just thinking, was perhaps one of your first places. You may not have labeled it as that. Most of my guests don't. They go, soft place to fall. Oh, I was doing this, I was doing that. And they realize, oh, is that what it is? So what's the kitchen?
It actually was the barbecue pit. That's where I found my peace.
Oh.
And believe it or not, I started out in front of Club Rags on Plank Road, the little bitty red top barbecue pits. So, I mean, it just was a passion that I have, and I love cooking from the heart to feed the soul. And that's how I look at it. I put my all into it to give somebody flavors that just make them say, wow. And I just love to cook. That's just a gift that's my passion, my purpose that God has given me.
And you've taken that passion to other levels. Like you said, you started out in front of a club. But I understand that you even go to the highways and byways, as they say, in the old church, and you reach out to so many who are, and I don't like using the term less fortunate. I'm going to have to kind of go through my mental dictionary and find a synonym for those people who find themselves in a predicament where the bare necessities are not available to them. And you actually go out there and serve straight from the heart.
Yes, I mean, it's just amazing to feed people because you can reach people through food. It can always start a conversation. And I just love people. It doesn't matter who you are. And we're sitting in a soft place, but some people are in hard places at times. And you never know what a piece of bread can do. Because Jesus gave us bread.
Come on.
So, and I just try to open up my heart to wherever I can help somebody through the gift that God has given me. So if I can feed you, hey, just give me a call.
And also realizing that while you're feeding the physical body, that very spirit that dwells inside of you is actually feeding the soul and the spirit of those people who may not know what we know.
Right, exactly.
So when did this all begin? When did you first, I know you didn't find a barbecue pit and just go out there and start doing it, probably at a very young age. What were you doing? How did that all come about?
Well, to be honest with you, my parents and stuff always cook. I'm a country girl. I wasn't thinking about cooking then, but it wasn't an option. You know, my parents taught us things that you had to do because eventually you would have to use what we have taught you when you leave the house. So I just was, matter of fact, I was overseas. And when I came back from overseas, I actually was just talking to Norman, and we ended up talking about, oh, well, why don't you cook? You know, let's see what we can do. So I just started barbecuing outside there, and it just started growing. I mean, it grew. I didn't think I would be where I'm at today with it, but God saw different. So, and that's just what I do, and I just travel the journey. If you call me, I'm available. I'll make it happen. And if I can't, I'll try to refer you to somebody. But, you know, I just love to do it. And the way that I do my catering is, I don't tell my client what they want. I allow my client to tell me. Because who knows better what you want to eat than you? So that's what I do.
And you do it with such excellence and such a spirit of love. And like you mentioned, that's one of the main ingredients in all of your meals is love. And to have the opportunity to actually share that once again with people who are out there not really knowing where their next meal would come from. I can only imagine the look and the gratitude on some of the people's faces when you show up and do what you do. Did you not out there just kind of soup kitchen it? There's always almost a level of gourmet, if I must.
Yeah, well, the thing is about with me, if I'm going to do something, I don't want to give anybody nothing that I wouldn't give to myself. So if you're not going to put your whole heart and soul into it, then don't do it. Because everybody is somebody, regardless of their situation or what they're going through. Treat them with kindness, show them the love, and you'll get it in return. It might not be in the physical, but hey, you'll get it in return. It's coming back. It will come back to you.
So a soft place to fall is one of those things that I thank God for the vision, because in particularly in these times that we're living in.
Yes.
Life can throw us challenges, and the world may seem, one day you wake up on top of the world, and next day the world's on top of you.
Exactly.
So knowing that, what do you do? Maybe it might be one of those meals that you run to when the day is going crazy, things are just out of whack. Where is your soft place to fall? What do you do for yourself when you've had a little bit too much of what the world has thrown at you?
You know, and it's mighty strange that you asked me that, because I was in that place 2 days ago. And what I did was, I took out some ribs, I lit my barbecue pit, I took my TV outside where my barbecue pit was, and I just grilled. Cooking gives me a place of peace. I can sit there, I can talk to God, and I just sit there and meditate and watch what I'm doing and see what my next move is going to be. Because obviously I done did something that has pushed me to that place, or I have allowed somebody to infiltrate what I have going on. So when I go to cook, it changes that atmosphere for me. It gives me a brand new vision, a new view, and say, hey, that's not going to stop me.
Very good, very good. And you talked about things that happen or things that you caused to happen. But in the same respect, you found a way to not only give of yourself,
Yes.
but in return you receive. We're going to talk about that right here on A Soft Place to Fall.
Yes.
Are you covered, protected, and prepared? Don't you want to ease your mind by having the confidence that when the time comes, you and your loved ones are protected and insured? It's as easy as picking up the phone and calling licensed life agent Enidra Wells, 225-936-6017. With care and compassion, Enidra will walk you through the entire process of having you and your loved ones covered, protected, and prepared. No exams, most pre-existing diagnoses are covered, no special requirements. So call today, 225-936-6017, and have the assurance of insurance.
A soft place to fall.
Well, we're right back here talking to my dear friend. I keep calling, every time I look at you, I see royalty.
I receive it. I receive it.
I just, and it's not what you do, it's who you are.
Thank you.
And if anybody doesn't recognize that, get to know her. Just look at her, you'll see it. Now, we were talking about your wonderful place of resilience and rejuvenation is cooking, and we even mentioned that you do it for others. And you have reached out to a community of people who for so very long have been overlooked.
Yes.
And they have maybe found themselves, for whatever reason, we're not here to judge, found themselves in a place of bondage,
Yes.
locked up, serving time. And then we look at them once they come out of that arena, that atmosphere. What do they do? What do they do? Where do they turn? They can't find a job. The world is completely different from what it was when they went in. And we're hearing so much about this in this present time. It's all over the news. People who have gone into prison and served extended sentences, and they come out, what do? So you got something, look at the smile on your face, even talking about that. You're doing something for that group of people as well.
Yes, because it's with my sister, so I reach out to her. And if I can help anybody with whatever organization they have going on that's going to better that person. So my sister does this Touch Ministries where people have Vernon Bradley Jackson. Where people have nowhere to go. They family turn their back on them or whatever. And everybody needs somebody, no matter what has happened in your life. We're not here to judge anybody. We are here to help each other. And that's what she does. And she reaches out to me and my other sister, and we go out and we help her with whatever we can do. And of course, I'll feed them. I'll feed you. I have not a problem with that. And so it's just knowing one day you might not have that soft place to fall, and you need somebody to reach out to.
Yeah.
So
I always like to consider it as throwing them a cushion.
yes.
Because I can only imagine, God forbid, but I know that there's some people who are looking, and you may even be one of those people, or someone. So Touch Ministry.
Touch Ministry, Vernon Bradley Jackson.
A little bit later, we'll make sure we give out some contact information for that as
Okay.
well. What has been on this journey? What has been one of the greatest challenges you may have faced, perhaps dealing with the homeless and people, or even with One Touch Ministries, some of the people who have been incarcerated for an extended period of time. Is there something that kind of stands out amongst those people that has kind of tugged at the heartstring?
Well, for me, by me being in the military, real retired, let me make that known, retired, you know, from going overseas, seeing other people in struggles, and even here in the United States, seeing people in struggles. It's just a hard thing to see somebody that can't eat or want something to eat or want something different but can't afford it. And people always being judgmental. I don't know that person's story, but if I could feed you, at least you got a warm meal in your stomach that can help you say, oh, you know what, I have another chance. And that's what I look at it as, is putting something into them to say, don't give up. You still have another chance. I'm gonna give you some nourishment. It's gonna strengthen you. You're gonna be able to move forward. You can go another day. You know, just don't give up. Don't give up. That's the key factor. Do not give up. It may not be what you want to eat, but it's something to give you some strength in the physical.
That's amazing that, especially, and I always said, it may sound very redundant when I said, considering the times that we're living in, that so many people are going through things, and unfortunately, people lose hope.
Yes. Yes.
And we never know what a kind word, a smile, a hot meal
Exactly.
can do for someone in the course of a day.
Exactly.
You never know what another person is going into. And that's why I thank God for this show, because I envisioned it as that place, a platform where people can come and share their stories and let other people know you're not the only one that's going through it.
That's right.
You're not the only one that's going through it. You got a lot of other great things that are happening. You got One Touch Ministry with Verna Bradley Jackson. I always call your sister by her whole name.
Exactly. Everybody do.
For all the years I've been doing, I always call her by her entire name.
Yes.
And so with that, what you do as a caterer or chef, and all the other things that you do for the churches and the community. I saw some things that you've created, some spices and some other stuff. And we're gonna, of course, get a chance for you to share with listeners, our viewers, how they can get some of that stuff.
Okay.
But right now, I don't know, it has just been, and since you walked into the holy grounds here,
Yes.
it seems that there's something you want to share. There's something you want to share. We talked a little bit before the segment, and you got something real powerful in you. What is it? Am I making this up?
No, you're not. You're on it. You're on it. You know, it's just, for me, as I went through my journeys or whatever, I just want to tell everybody, don't give up on what you want to do. Encourage your own self. And it's good to have encouragement from other people, but the best part about it is, if you encourage yourself, that means that seed is in there. Then the other people's encouragement is just watering it. Don't ever knock anybody of what they gonna do, because you never know where it's gonna take you. It's always good to uplift other people. Even in your down season, uplift other people, because when they up, they can always reach back and bring you up. So, you know, it's just, I just give God all the glory, because I'm just excited about my place of where I'm at now. And it's all because of him and the people that he's put in my journey. Even the people that hurt me, that made me strong. They gave me strength to continue and move forward. And I just thank God for you. I watched you, your encouraging words that you say. I may not always comment or whatever, but trust me, I receive it. I receive it. Because it feels like you're directing it to me. I feel it, you know.
I thank God for that gift because you even said about encouraging yourself. And just this past week, I posted on my Facebook page, and it just fell in my spirit. I don't even know where it came from. Pat your own self on the back.
All right now.
At the end of the day, pat your own self on the back. I'm talking to the camera that they get. Pat your own self on the back. Encourage yourself. At the end of the day, say, you did a good job.
That's right.
You know, even in the midst of everything else that's going on, you did a good job. Pat yourself.
Yes.
And like you say, encouragement from somebody else is great. But
That's
don't
right.
sit around and wait for it, because it's not going to always come.
It all ain't gonna always come.
We're going to talk a whole lot more about the products and everything that God has given you that gift to do.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about what they are, what they mean, and how to get them.
And I'm excited about it.
Right here on the Soft Place to Fall. Lorraine, I love you.
I love you too.
The Soft Place to Fall. Wow.
A soft place to fall.
Back here at a Soft Place to Fall with the Queen herself. I can't call you anything else. But I'm holding in my hand barbecue sauce, and there are quite a few other things that you have created and are sharing with. What are some of the other things? I was almost tempted to take a swig, but
Well, I have barbecue sauce. I also have pure honey, and I also have a seasoning with no salt and one seasoning with salt. Because, you know, the dietitian area, everybody's going to that more heart healthy thing. So, and I have a lot of clientele that do no salt because of heart problems or whatever issues they have going on. But me, I still use the salt.
I'll be using the salt too, because you're so wonderful to share all of this with me. And this too had to have been a vision.
Yes. Yes, I would go in the store and I would see all of the sauces or whatnot. It just didn't have that kick, that flavor that I wanted, that sense of love with that little bit of sweetness, but not too sweet and not too heavy. So I started mixing my own. And I cook it for maybe 3 to 4 hours on steam. I use a lot of steam, so therefore it gives it the texture I need, the stickiness, and it's still not heavy. So my clients just love it, and that's what I use on all my products. I use my own products on all my food.
It's good, and I hope somebody out there got that too. You said you went in the store and you saw other stuff, and then you go, why can't I can do that.
Yes.
So that too can give people hope that, you know, there's a lot of things that are inside of us, you know. And I said that often, that we will never prosper until we're operating in the gift.
Yes.
I'll say it again, we will never prosper until we're operating in the gift. And I think I'm preaching to myself right now, but that's good too. Because God has placed within you,
Yes.
me, and all of these wonderful people who are, and I was talking about, I gotta just talk about them too. They God sent, and I'm talking about my production crew. God
Yes.
sent, and they put up with me, and that's a lot. But it just goes to show you that God has given each of us a gift,
Yes.
and it's great that you recognize that gift early in your journey.
Yes.
Yeah.
It ain't too early now. It's not too early.
We're gonna say it's early. We're gonna say it's early. So you have the barbecue sauce, you have pure honey, you have the seasonings with salt and without salt.
Yes.
And I just feel in my spirit, I don't know what else. Something else is coming, salad dressing or something else is on the horizon.
Well, I've been working on some other stuff.
Yeah,
I just haven't put it out there yet because it hasn't come to my perfection that I think it should be. And I know it's not going to be perfect, but I'm going to need it to have that right taste, that right kick. So
they'll be able to get all kinds of things, everything that you'll need for your kitchen. You'll be able to find it.
yes, because I'm trying to bring that all around the world seasoning here. You know, I want to be able to take people through a journey of food of all different countries and whatnot. I want to bring it to them. Since they're not going to go where it's at, I want to bring it to them.
That sounds
So that's a project I'm working on.
Like an international taste fair of sort.
Yes, yes.
Okay, we already talked about it, and you talked about my level of creativity, and it goes back to one of the fashion shows that I did.
Yes.
So let's work on that
Yes.
international taste fair.
Exactly.
Hosted by you, and I love these.
Oh,
leaves
I know. It's just beautiful.
It's so beautiful. God is so gracious, and I tell people all the time to have people like yourself who take time and come and share all the wonderful gifts that God has placed, and the words and the messages, and so much that God has in store for you. But I would be remiss if I did not, and I think I may have missed the opportunity to talk to some of my previous guests about this. We cannot have a conversation in these times without mentioning the pandemic.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I know that you were more concerned about other folks
Yes.
than perhaps you were about yourself. So how did you handle being a caterer where a lot of things were pulled back and we couldn't be around and couldn't do what we were so accustomed to doing? How did you handle the whole pandemic thing? What something good obviously came out of it.
And it did. And for me, during the pandemic, what happened was my faith became so much stronger. And when my faith became that strong like it didn't stop me from cooking. I started cooking, dropping food off at people's doors. You ain't got to open the door, but I'll get it to you, because people had went into such a fear factor that it took over the mindset. And, you know, and trust me, don't get me wrong, I know it's something out there, but at the same time, you cannot allow it to consume your mind. And that's what has started happening to a lot of people, because they started separating themselves from communicating. I mean, you can still communicate on the phone or whatever. If you got to talk through the door, hey, crack the door, talk through the door. And it just made me say, you know, it's something different I can do. I started cooking food, taking it to people, dropping it off, because the elderly people was my more so focus, because the simple fact is, they had really went into a shop. We're not going anywhere, we're not doing anything.
Yes.
So I started taking food to them so they can keep their strength. Because if you got strength, you can move things. And so, and that's how I dealt with the pandemic. Because I still had to work my full-time job. That didn't cease at all for me. And I thank God for that. But I also wanted to take my gift and pour it into other people. And that was the way that I knew how to do it. Use what God gave me.
Given you already.
And I put it into perfection in the stove, pots and pans. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
And I tell everybody, you know, I've had the privilege and honor of tasting some of your wonderful cuisine, and I want some more, y'all. I want some more. So tell everybody how they can get in touch with you, in addition to One Touch Ministry, along with your sister, and catering, and of course the spices and anything else that may be on the horizon. So share some contact information with us, please, Your Majesty.
Of course. I'm on Facebook at Lorraine Bradley. I'm also Diamond Marquee Grill and Catering. I'm also on Instagram at Diamond One Marquee. My website is being revamped. We're redoing everything with it because I'm in the process of rebranding. But you can reach me at 225-235-1091. Or you also can reach out to me at Diamond One Marquee, which is spelled MARQUEE, at gmail.com to place orders. All my products are available. They're not sitting on the shelf. I make them fresh per order. So if you can give me at least 24 hours to get the products to you, I have not a problem with that. And with my catering services, you can reach me in the same platforms, same telephone number, all of that. Just give me 24 hours. If I'm available, I'll make it happen for you.
And surely she will. You'll find a soft place to fall. Wonderful food. Might gain a few pounds on the way, but
it'll be well worth it.
Well worth it. It has been indeed an honor and a privilege to have you join me here for Conversations on the Couch. And I see great things in store for you. God is going to take you to places and before people you never imagined.
I receive it, and I thank you so much for that. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm ready.
All right. Once again, I've been joined here at A Soft Place to Fall with my dear friend, Her Majesty, Lorraine Bradley, right here on A Soft Place to Fall. Thank you so much.
A soft place to fall.
This is perhaps one of my most favorite segments in A Soft Place to Fall. You know when you were a child and you did something that you weren't supposed to do, and your siblings would say, I'm going to tell on you. Well, that's what this is. It's called I'm going to tell God on you, but mine is completely different. I'm telling God on all the wonderful things that you do and ask Him to bless you in a very special way. Our person of interest today is Mr. Sam Dugas, and he is actually the one who inspired this segment. I would always see him running around the church doing things for people, and he actually came to our rescue in the aftermath of our most recent hurricane. And I would always ask him, what do I owe you? How can I repay you for all of the wonderful things that you do? And he told me, he said, do what you've been doing. You told me you were going to tell God on me, and it's obvious that you did, because God is blessing me. And that's more of a payment than anything I could ever ask for. So Mr. Sam Dugas, I'm going to tell God on you. If you have someone you'd like for me to tell on, the information is very simple. It's at asoftplacetofall@yahoo.com. And I'll tell God on them for you.
A soft place to fall.
Wrapping up yet another incredible edition of A Soft Place to Fall. It's amazing. A lot of times we just don't even think about how the simple things in life can mean so much to a person. A hot meal or even a snack may be the only thing that a person has to look forward to. So I want to thank my guest today, Lorraine Bradley. I call her Her Majesty. She brings such a spirit of royalty into everything that she does, and helping others find a soft place to fall. Even those who have been incarcerated, with Touch Ministry is there to share a cushion, a place for them to recover from the things that life has shown them. So in this time, don't worry about what's going on in the world. There's so much going on. You can't keep up with it anyway. Keep pressing toward the mark of the high calling, which is in Christ Jesus. Don't worry about how many mountains you successfully climb, how many goals you successfully achieve. Remember this one thing, that only what you do for Christ will last. Find your soft place to fall.
That's a good blooper.